Hello. We were talking about this picture at the end of our last session about the fact that Athena will show up in the background of a lot of these artworks. She doesn't show up much in the story of Hercules, although there are spots where she'll kind of pop in. But in the art, she always seems to be in the background, kind of keeping an eye on things. I've mentioned this before too in class, I know, but one of the things that always throws me off about Greek art, these are supposed to be essentially toddlers with the snakes again, remember, and it just seems like they're young adults. So anyway, still an interesting vase painting. Still keep in mind that Athena's going to be showing up in the background there. All right, some more snake pictures, and there's Zeus watching his boy Hercules is wrestling with the snakes. This is on a wall in Pompeii. In fact, here is that wall where it is in Pompeii. So this was just in a room, and so there's a picture of Zeus and Hercules and the snakes. And we saw this picture earlier in the discussion about Dionysus and Pentheus. And remember, Agave, Pentheus' mom, is the one who comes and leads the charge against him. And there she is, right there with the rock there in the background. And then there's Dionysus running off, and there's Pentheus. And I told you at some point I would show you where it was, and so there you go. And this, of course, looks actually more like a toddler than some of the things that we've seen. But there you go, Hercules and the snake. And then this is a much more modern picture, and I like this. There's a series of these that I thought were pretty good. So there's Alcmene running in, and those are some pretty wicked-looking snakes there. But there's Iphicles crying, and then there's Hercules taking care of business. All right, so Hercules' education. It was chariot driving, wrestling, archery, wisdom, music. And I often ask the question, why these educational pursuits? But they represented what was important in his culture and what was in some ways necessary in his culture. And you kind of put a lot of these together and you realize, the first three tell you, okay, this is a culture that, you're going to be at war. But then to see wisdom and music also very valued. Those were the things that he learned. If you had to take a guess as to his least favorite, I'll pause for a second. You can pause the video if you like. If you guessed music, you were correct. Music was his least favorite subject. And his music teacher was named Linus. By the way, in the Peanuts comic, Linus is not the piano player, that's Schroeder. Linus is in Peanuts, and actually he's probably my favorite character, but he's Lucy's younger brother and Charlie Brown's good friend. Anyway, Linus is the name of Hercules' music teacher. And, Hercules, he's got fairly large hands. He's trying to learn how to play the lyre, which is a stringed instrument. And it's just not going terribly well. And Linus is, if you've ever had a private lessons or something like that, sometimes the music tutor can be a little bit, what's the word I'm looking for, gruff and demanding. And that's what's going on here. And so, Hercules messes up, and Linus is like, no, that's not right. Let's try this again. And getting kind of keeps after him, and Hercules gets frustrated. And then one day, just in anger, he kills Linus with the lyre. And, it's one of those things. This is another pattern that we're going to kind of witness within Hercules' life, that he gets angry pretty easily and then does things and realizes after the fact, oh, what was I thinking? So his parents, essentially his mom and his stepdad, suggest a change of scenery, and they send him out to the countryside. Don't have any pictures of Linus on here, I'm afraid. The Linus situation. All right, so Hercules, while he is out there, he's just kind of working out on farms and, doing hard physical labor to kind of help temper him a bit. And he's out in the region of called Thespia, which was just named after King Thespius. And King Thespius has 50 daughters. And we will pick it up again with this next time.